Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how I drew this cute little mouse in graphite pencil on hot press watercolour paper. The paper I'm going to be using today is the Fabriano Artistico hot press paper, which I recently showed you on my latest art haul video. This is a 300 gram, 140 pound paper which comes in this block of 20 sheets measuring 9 by 12 inches. It's 100% cotton and is extra white, although it's produced without the use of whitener. It's acid free and archival. Now you may be wondering why I'm drawing with graphite on watercolour paper, but on reading the information on the back of the pad I found that this paper is also ideal for drawing on, so I thought I'd try it out and see how it compares to the Bristol paper I usually use with graphite. The two pencils I'm using today are the Pentel mechanical pencil with an HB lead and a regular 6B pencil from Faber-Castell, but I'll put all the items in the description box if you want to go and check them out. The eraser I like to use for detailed pencil drawings is the Tombow Mono Zero eraser, and I also used a few blending stumps as well as a tissue to blend and spread the graphite. Lastly, I thought I'd try out this small embossing tool which I've had for ages but never actually tested. The idea with this is that you use it to make fine indentations into your paper before beginning work on your drawing. These grooves in the paper remain visible after adding pencil to reveal fine lines where the pencil can't reach. I'm hoping to use this method to create some fine white whiskers on this little mouse, and I'm really looking forward to seeing if it works. I've seen some amazing coloured pencil artists use this technique here on YouTube with fantastic results. Go and check out Amie Howard's art channel if you'd like to know more about it. I'll put a link to her channel above. The last thing to do before I started was to lift some of the graphite from my sketch using a kneaded eraser and concentrating especially on areas where I'd drawn the whiskers. Now we are all ready to start, but don't forget, if you like this video please give it a big thumbs up, and if you're new around here please consider subscribing to my channel where I post twice weekly videos on all things art related. Please also feel free to comment below with any questions you have or any suggestions for future videos you'd like to see. Thank you so much to Colorist for suggesting I draw a mouse today. I had so much fun with this one and I really hope you enjoy the video. So I thought I'd start by putting in some of the darkest values on the mouse's eye using first my mechanical pencil. This is a 0.7mm lead which enabled me to get really precise lines around the shape of the eye while still being able to leave the highlights free of graphite. I used a fine continuous line for the outside edge of the eye, but used a more uneven line for the inside edge to show the fine fur detail and make it look more natural. I worked the rest of the eye using circular motions with my pencil to cover up any tooth of the paper, which helped to make the eye look super dark and shiny. So how does this paper compare to using, say, smooth Bristol paper for example? Well, as soon as I put pencil to paper I noticed a big difference. The Fabriano paper, whilst hot pressed and smoother than cold pressed watercolour paper, still has more of a texture to it than the Bristol paper I've used in the past for my graphite drawings. The more textured cotton surface of the Fabriano really helped to grab hold of that graphite, and so I was able to get a really dark value with just one layer of an HB pencil, and I didn't have to press very hard either. I see this as a real win for the Fabriano paper because, as you probably know if you've drawn in graphite before, by nature it can look really shiny, especially if you add multiple layers. Being able to get dark values using less layers means less shine. So the laydown is really nice on this paper, but does that extra texture make it harder to blend? Well, now I'm filling in the darkest area of the mouse's ear, and I began, still with my mechanical pencil, to add in some dark value as well as a bit of fur texture using small straight strokes in the direction the fur's growing in. I then went in with my blending stump before adding another layer of pencil to build up the fur here, and I have to say I didn't really notice any difference in my ability to smooth out the graphite in this way compared with a smooth Bristol surface. So with the ears and main facial features filled in, it was time to start work on the mouse's fur, and again I began by laying down pencil in the darkest areas, still using the HB lead. I used the same method of using short fine lines for the fur, followed by blending with the blending stump and then adding further layers on top to gradually build up the appearance of real fur. Then I moved down the nose, being careful to keep my lines facing the direction of fur growth for a more realistic and natural look. As I moved around the left side of the face, I concentrated more on mapping out the patterns in the fur first to get that right before blending again with the blending stump. Mapping out main areas early on like this, noting where there are changes in value or fur direction, I find can really help to simplify things and make the whole drawing process a lot more enjoyable. I also find it really useful to lay down lighter values with some of the graphite left on the blending stump. It's really useful for adding in smoother, more subtle shading, or to act as a base to add more detail to later on. When filling in the mouse's back leg, I also used the blending stump to blend out some of the darker pencil values to create soft, smooth shadows, before moving on to another very dark area under the mouse's belly and around the front legs. Then I continued round to the right hand side of the mouse's body to finish adding the fine dark fur detail, blending with the blending stump and finishing off by using some of the graphite on the blending stump to add softer, light values to the rest of the mouse's body. For the next stage of this drawing, I swapped up to the 6B pencil and, starting at the top of the mouse's ear, gradually layered in yet darker values and more fur texture, but still alternating between the pencil and the blending stump. At this point, I also used the small Mono Zero eraser to lift out some individual fine hairs and add more detail. With the sharp point to my pencil, I could also add in individual darker hairs pretty easily, and I was really surprised that this paper seemed able to cope with multiple layers of graphite quite happily. With other smoother drawing papers, I've often felt that there is a limit to how many layers the paper will take before the graphite becomes too smooth and shiny to take on any more, but this paper really was a dream, and I will be definitely using it again. I think it's really suited to drawing anything where you need to build up multiple layers, and seems to work really well for hair and fur. I'd really like to try out colour pencils on this paper too, so maybe that's an idea for a future video. After adding darker values to the mouse's ears, I then needed to adjust the values on other areas of the mouse's fur, but decided to go back to the mechanical pencil with this, as it kept its fine point and seemed to lay down dark enough too. This part was really fun as the mouse was really beginning to take shape. Back to the 6B pencil now to get in the darker shadow areas under the mouse's body and around his feet. In the reference photo I was using, unfortunately the mouse's feet were a bit blurred, so this area lacks detail, which kind of lets this piece down a bit for me, but I was pleased with how the rest of him was turning out, so that's something I can look to improve on next time. Now at this point of the drawing, I decided to add some shading around the outside of the mouse's body to show the highlighted areas on his legs as well as those whiskers, and because it was a larger area and I wanted a soft, smooth look to the background, I ended up using a tissue rather than a blending stump. Okay, now it's time for a close-up to see if using the embossing tool actually worked to keep those whiskers white. And as you can see, it did work to an extent, but probably not as well as I'd hoped. Maybe I used too small an embossing tool, or maybe I didn't press hard enough onto my paper in the beginning. But they are nonetheless there, so perhaps I'll have to experiment a bit more with that before the next time I use it. If you've used embossing tools before and have any tips for me, then please do drop them in the comments box below. Once the background had been added, I went in to add a few more highlights with my Mono 0 eraser to the tops of the mouse's ears, a few more individual hairs on his face, and lastly to brighten up the highlighted areas on his legs. I then had a bit of a break and came back to the drawing with fresh eyes, tilted my drawing surface so you could see it a bit better, and decided to darken up the front of the mouse's nose with the 6B pencil. I think it's good if you can take short breaks just so you can better see what might need changing when you come back. Another tip I have is to try looking at your picture upside down. Seeing a recognisable face or animal can distract you from seeing what needs improvement. Upside down it looks less recognisable, so you can tell more quickly what still needs work. Right, at last I was ready to add in some more definition to the whiskers, and while some of the whiskers were white, some were also black. I used a combination of the Mono 0 eraser and both pencils to complete this bit, and despite my initial reservations, I think they turned out okay in the end. But let me know what you think in the comments box. I really enjoyed drawing this little mouse today and was really surprised and impressed by the Fabriano hot press paper. It was textured enough to allow easy laydown of the graphite and was tough enough that I could add multiple layers to achieve the results I wanted without going super shiny or resisting addition of more graphite. However, it also allowed for a smooth background and it wasn't difficult to cover up the tooth of the paper with blending stumps or tissues. I also had no issues with nasty smudging of my drawing, which I've had with some smoother drawing papers in the past. This paper almost gripped onto the graphite. I can only assume that these properties are due largely to the fact that this paper is 100% cotton, and cotton's a lot stronger and more resistant to repeated handling than paper made from wood pulp. But I'd be interested to know if anyone has tried any other cotton papers and how you found them for drawing on. Let me know in the comments box below, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the bell icon too to be notified as soon as I upload a new video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!